What was Arnell wearing on his face?
Oh, is it the mask that he's been wearing the last few days? He calls it his plague mask.
I don't think I saw it.
Oh, he's worn like every night after like inner circle and advanced class. I think just to make us all laugh. He totally stole it from Three Ninjas or Five Deadly Venoms.
Cool. Pulling up to gallery. Cool to see you guys. We'll just wait another minute or two. Craig went a little bit over, as is tradition for Craig to go a little bit over. So we'll just wait for everyone to get in here. He had just taught a really awesome foundations class. Cool. Cool to see Albert and his dinosaurs. Cool to see Seth. Cool to see Nicole's wall. Paul Paulson, Marlon with the glasses, Taan, Matthew, nice to see you again. Dre holding it down at City Wing Chun. Joe, coming from down south, cool to see you.
Good to see you, Sifu.
Awesome. Shawnee sporting the red. Is that the sporting the yellow Leon Tim shirt? Wow, very cool, very cool. You know that my Seabach, those are the student shirts for Leon Tim, but he made it yellow just to piss off his former Sifu Leung Ting, because that was only the grandmasters could wear the yellow shirt. So when he left, he oh cool. When he left, he made that the student color shirt. Cool. Mikey Dean. We got Ken Shiro, aka Jose, always changing his name. Barry over there in super stealth mode. Toby. Very cool. Dre's over there with the ninja sword. Yo, check out Dre's ninja sword. That's legit. That ninja sword is no joke. Robert Fears coming in here.
Barry, where are you going?
Driving from duty, protecting y'all's freedom. You enjoy that?
You're protecting us with your trumpet?
Guard duty, baby, taking temperatures.
If the coronavirus is closer, use the trumpet to keep it away. All right, guys.
I got it. I'll bring it back to you.
I'm going to switch you. I'm going to mute you guys, and then we're going to get started. All right. Cool. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. All right. Fantastic. Okay. So I thought, obviously, maybe in lieu of doing self-defense today before the warm-up, let's do some footwork stuff with Bong and Taan Geuk a little bit, and I'll show you guys some leg work combinations you guys can work on a bit. All right. So. Okay. All right, so we'll go like this. Let me adjust this here. I want everyone to go into the frontal stance like this, and we're going to practice doing the Taan Geuk. So you have a nice full circle, and you bring your knee up nice and tight from the side. Should be up like this. Very similar to the single leg Siunum Tao position, right? And we're just going to start as a kind of a warm-up before the warm-up. We're going to alternate Taan Geuk on one side, switch hands. Taan Geuk on the other side, switch hands. So you're just going to go right and left. Pay attention that your head stays level as you move from one side to the other. So there should be no rocking up and down. So you keep everything level, and you just keep your hands forward, and you can kind of casually switch them in between sets here. Good. Good. This is the Taan Geuk. So this is one of our leg defenses. Usually if we're kind of flat-footed and someone gives us a kick, we can defend this way and then go forward. It's not a primary leg defense, and we usually use it more against knees and close range stuff, but we do have it. The partner technique for that one is the Bong Geuk. So the Bong Geuk, you're going to start from here, you're going to bring your knee up and in, and this is basically the same position as a chambered side kick. So from the frontal stance, you have to pivot your foot out, and you're going to bring your knee in, and then you come back, and then you go to the other side. And back and other side. So the knee is in, protecting your supporting leg. And you can blade your body a little bit because you're essentially in the side kick position. So don't try to be square with Bong Geuk. Let yourself blade a little bit this way here. In, nice. Good. Good. Okay, so let's now do some follow-ups, all right? So I'm gonna show you the basic follow-up from Taan Geuk is the straight kick. So you go Taan Geuk, straight kick with the toe out, then turn it back in before you step forward. That way you don't land with your foot pointing in the wrong direction. So we go 2 steps, Taan Geuk, front kick, and then step forward. And now we come back, and we go Taan Geuk, front kick, and then step forward. Think about aiming that front kick to the knee of your opponent. So the Taan Geuk is high, but that front kick is to the knee, and then you go forward. And then back, Taan Geuk, kick, step forward. And back, Taan Geuk, kick, step forward. Taan Geuk, kick, step forward. Taan Geuk, kick, step forward. And let's do one more. Taan Geuk, kick, step forward. Okay, so now we'll do the follow-up for Bong Geuk, which is side kick. So you're gonna blade your body sideways. And by the way, in terms of pairing techniques, the Bong Geuk pairs really well with the front Paksao. So normally we like to pair those 2 techniques together. It's very defensive. So you go from here, Bong Geuk with Paksao, and then side kick to the knee. And then when you step forward, you're gonna be sideways, so square up when you step. And then you come back, so you go Bong Geuk, bladed, side kick, square up that back hip when you step forward. So Bong Geuk, side kick, step. Bong Geuk, side kick, step forward. Bong Geuk, side kick, step forward. On your own. Good. Good. Up, in, square up. Up, in, square up. Good. So those 2 examples, Taan Geuk with the straight kick to the knee or Bong Geuk with the side kick, those are kind of like the standard follow-ups for Bong and Taan Geuk. But we also have kind of an alternate way we can use Taan Geuk. And this is a known kind of like the flicking Taan Geuk. All right, so I'm going to show you this one here. This is really good if someone gives you, if they hyperextend the front kick, you're going to do the Taan Geuk, but you're going to flick your leg to the side. And the trick is to use not your shin, but the side of your calf to flick their leg. So when they extend with the kick and you flick them, the idea is to get them to turn and face the wrong way. So we're going to go this way, flick it to the side. So you need a little bit of hip movement here, all right? But now the follow-up is going to be different. We're not going to do the front thrust kick after the Taan Geuk, because if someone turns this way, you have their back. So the follow-up is going to look like this. We're going to do the flicking Taan Geuk. You're going to step, and you're going to knee them in the back, all right, on the tailbone, like this, boom, all right? So it looks like this. Flicking Taan Geuk, step with your foot down with the foot pointing out. Grab onto their shoulders or their head, knee strike, all right, right up here. And then we go back to the other side. Flicking Taan Geuk, step, knee strike, and back. And we'll repeat this. Flicking Taan Geuk, step, knee strike. On your own. You can do them at any pace you feel comfortable at. Flick this to the side, like you're really trying to get them to turn. You step down and knee strike. Flick, step down, knee strike. Flick, step down, knee strike. Flick, can hold on to the shoulders, knee strike. Flick, down, boom. Flick, down, boom. Flick, down, pam. Good. Flick, down, boom. All right, fantastic. Do a couple more times. I'll just go by and look at you guys. Do it a little bit on your own. I just need to go switch it to gallery view here for a moment. Boom. Take a look at you. Nice. So you flick to the side, and then you go in there with the knee. Beautiful. Good. Try to keep your posture upright the whole time. Good. So you have to visualize that that straight kick is coming in, and this is like those guys who like to kind of really reach with the front kick. So their hip is going to be really extended. That's why when you flick it to the side, they're going to fall because they don't have the hip back like we do in Wing Chun. They're extending themselves. So you help them turn, and then there goes the knee strike. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and switch to the warm-up now, all right? So get your space. All right. What's the best view here? Okay. So, all right, right hand in front. One punch per count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 3 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 50 punches. Go. Lock them out. Quick, quick, quick. Quick, quick, quick. Lock them out. Nice. Keep the stance nice and stable. Beautiful. And when you finish that 50th punch, you finish with the right arm extended. And then you're going to sink. And really, especially for advanced students, really focus on that sinking power here. Like we have it in the Biu Tze form and we have it in the Sifu Alex, right? You sink and then you're going to switch and switch hands when that front foot lands. All right. We're going to repeat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 punches. And really try to get that wrist to engage at the last moment of extensions. When you fully lock out the joints, there goes the wrist. So it's part of the punch. 2 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. 3 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 50 punches. Go. Lock them out. Quick, quick, quick. Quick, quick, quick. Good, 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 good. Fantastic. All right. Nice. Okay, so go ahead and sink your elbow. Let's go ahead and switch. Should have the right leg in front. Now we go for the front thrust kick, paying attention to the immovable stance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's switch. And also, if you're limited on space, obviously we know that we use our kind of world famous triangle step when we switch in the warm-up. But if for some reason the space is limited, or if you like to watch yourself in the video with a side view, you might also want to consider just using a turn to do the switch during this time. So I will let you guys use alternate methods. All right, cool. So we're on the left leg now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, let's go ahead and switch. All right, side kick with the pivot on the supporting leg. 1, 2, kick to the knee. 3, 4, send the bong cell forward. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And let's switch. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's switch. Go for that clinch. Remember to point the toe on those knee strikes. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Switch sides. Keep the clinch nice and tight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. Frontal stance. So I really want you guys to sit into that stance as you do, into the turn, I should say, as you do the Paizhang. So solid frontal stance. 1. And then the bottom hand springs you back to the center. 2. Almost like you're being pulled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. See if you can, because you're advanced students, when you send the hand back, send it back, even though it's not really a punch, but see if you can send it back with a little bit of elastic power. So your hand vibrates, but not from you guys faking it and shaking it, legit. All right, ready? 1, 2, send it back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, on the ground. So remember, most of you are practicing probably the vertical get up because you don't have much space behind you. 1, 2, send the hands forward. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And up. All right. Cool. Shake it out. Grab a quick drink of water. And then we're going to continue with the form in a moment. I realize I'm like, why do I feel so stuffy? And I just realized I didn't open the window. I'm like in a box of my own kung fu in here. So then for those of you who were with me last night, we'll probably hear those cats having that life and death fight outside again. All right, okay, so here we go. Let's go for the Chum Kiu form. All right. Okay, so feet together. Set the stance. Gansao, internal rotation and back. Punch, open, circle, punch, open, circle, and back. Push forward, slowly. Pause, launch, back, and turn. Turn, posture straight. Foksao, paksao, 1, 2, and 3. Palm strike, 1, 2, and 3. Turn. Cross Taan, Bong Wu, and turn. Lan Sao, cross Taan, Bong Wu, and turn. Lan, cross Taan, Bong Wu, and turn. And now back. Fist to the center, punch. Basao, fok. Thrust, circle, and back. Push forward slowly. So from the side, this looks like this. Slowly. Pause here for a moment. Head back as you launch, and then you're going to turn. And turn, and turn. Foksao, pat, 1, 2, and 3. Palm strike, 1, 2, and 3. Turn. Sink into Taan. Turn, Bong Wu. Lan. Sink into Taan. Bong Wu. Lan. Sink into Taan. Bong Wu, and back. Fist to the center, punch. Fasao, fok. Thrust, circle, and back. All right, open the hand, grab, shift and kick in one action, and Bong Wu. Tan Sao, step, Bong Wu. Tan Sao, step, Bong Wu. Lifting punch. Fok Sao, hand on top, thrust, circle, and back. Open the hand, grab, shift and kick, Bong Sao, Wu Sao, and Tan. Step, and Taan, step, Taan, lifting punch, Foksao, thrust, circle, and back, turn, lift, kick, and Bong, Taan, step, Man Sao, Jut Sao, palm and circle, step back, turn, lift, kick, Bong Sao, Taan, step, Man Sao, Jut Sao, palm, circle, and back. Pivot, kick, land where you began. Gum Sao, Wu Sao. Gum Sao, Wu Sao, turn. Gum Sao, Sauken, elbow in, jumping punch. Gum Sao, Sauken, elbow in, jumping punch. Gum Sao, Sauken, elbow in, jumping punch. Cut, drop, 1, 2, 3. Hand first. Hand first. Hand first. Circle, and back. All right, shake it out. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do for the Siunam Tao level, Siunam Tao Chum Kiu level, so basically 301. I want you guys to work on a simple exercise. I'm gonna show you guys this, and then I'm gonna do a little bit with the Biu Tze group, okay? So 301 level, so black shirts, okay? I want you to practice this. From station, I'm just sitting so you guys can see me. I'm not telling you to sit down. All right, so you're gonna launch this punch like you're launching a wedge, but the punch is gonna be high. So we're going to imagine, for argument's sake, you're gonna run diagonally with your partner. So my right arm to my opponent's right arm on the outside. But this arm is too high. So I cannot chain punch over because my arm is splitting up. So we're gonna use the cutting punch from the Chum Kiu form. So the exercise I want you to do looks like this. Start in the Zhong Sao, launch the wedge like a little bit higher, like to the nose. And then imagine you run into your opponent's arm and perhaps they give you a little bit of cross pressure. So you're gonna let it go and slide this punch underneath. And then you're gonna come back and you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So you start with the left Zhong Sao. Send your wedge forward, let it move to the side and cut underneath with this punch and then reset. So you're gonna go wedge, move the top arm to the side, fill in the gap with that cutting punch, and then reset. So it's 1, 2, 3, and reset. Punch, cross, punch underneath, and reset. So that's what I want Chum Kiu level people to do now. For the Biu Tze level people, we're going to work really quick on the Biu Tze set of the Biu Tze form, and then we're gonna also work on the some Biu Tze details. So let's start like this. For those of you who are learning Biu Tze, you're gonna start with the left hand. Now when we do the first Biu Tze, everyone knows that we have to cross the center and then send the hand to the middle. But too many students stop here and then go forward. It has to be one continuous action. So in other words, it doesn't stop. It's just a horizontal move to send your Biu Tze forward. So it should never be done like, all right, that's not correct at all. It should be done like the hand goes forward, the elbow stays really close. And when this gets to the shoulder, it just shoots forward. And the Biu Tze, when it's done, should be like this. A lot of you guys confuse the Biu Tze with the throat cutting hand, all right? You see people doing Biu Tze like this. It should be totally straight. So you send the Biu Tze forward by crossing. Then after you've done this, you put the hand underneath. That's done there intentionally to keep people from doing it too quickly. So you launch the hand first, then the hand comes underneath and you go 1. And then on the third one, you pull back. All right, so let's just focus on that and then you go to the other side. Right hand crosses to the center. Biu Tze fingers are totally outstretched, no curve, no throat cutting hand. Then this one comes underneath and look, under the tricep. If you notice that my chambered hand, this is also something you need to pay attention to. My wrist is in front of the elbow. Sometimes you guys chamber the hand too far back and then your hand is behind the elbow. So like if you see it from here, it's behind the elbow and then this is no good. You still need to have the hand in front of the elbow here, all right? So we're gonna go right and left. So you launch, place, 2, pull back on 3, and then you come back. And then you do it on the other side. Launch, place, 1, 2, pull back on 3. So go ahead and practice those details. I'm gonna put it on gallery view so I can watch you guys. Check out the Chum Kiu peeps. Check out the Biu Tze peeps. Good. Remember that when you do Biu Tze, your chambered arm is allowed to touch your body, all right? It's gonna feel weird because normally the golden rule is 1 fist distance away, right? We always talk about 1 fist distance away, except in the Biu Tze. In the Biu Tze, your elbow actually touches your body. So it should be all the way here. It shouldn't be like this. We call this the flying elbow, all right? It's here. This allows you a more slick cutting angle when you're trying to cut between someone's chain punches. So we don't want to do it with the elbow out. We want the elbow down and then launch from here with the fingers straight. Cool. Albert, can you adjust your camera so I'm not just staring at your waistline? Fantastic. Beautiful. Crossing, nice. Send the hand forward. Yeah, and for those of you doing Chum Kiu, you send that wedge forward and really imagine almost like your partner is pushing your arm to the side and you immediately fill in that gap. You launch, fill in that gap. Launch, fill in that gap. Cool. Nice. One more little detail for the Biu Tze group. When you launch the Biu Tze itself. Okay, let me go here. All right. So the Biu Tze does not come out like a throat cutting hand and then flick at the end. The Biu Tze, you want to imagine it's almost like you're being pulled by the fingertips. All right, although the power comes from the elbow, but it has to be like this. The elbow touches the body, so this is super tight. When you look at a hand from the side, it's not this way, it's pointing forward. So then even though I'm launching from the elbow, but the fingers need to go forward like they're being pulled in one straight line by a string. So in other words, there shouldn't be any flop like this at the end. It's almost like someone is pulling your bones straight and then your shoulder is anchored and that keeps it from going forward. So it stops here. There's no side cut. It goes from the side directly to the center. It's got to be super, super accurate. All right, very good. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to work on practicing this. As many of you guys know, for the Chum Kiu level people, I had them do the cutting punch. The cutting punch is basically a Chum Kiu level version of the continuous Biu Tze cell. If you look at Grandmaster Yip Man's Chum Kiu form, you will notice that he did not have a cutting punch in there. The cutting punch is known as the Kiu Dai Kun. All right, so I'll write it in here in the chat for you guys. All right, boom. Okay, cool. I see some people had chats here. Sorry, I missed it. Kiu Dai Kun. All right, Kiu Dai Kun means under the bridge punch. All right, that's the Kiu Dai Kun. And the Kiu Dai Kun, which we have in Chum Kiu, which is this cutting one here, this is essentially Sifu Alex' invention. He took some inspiration from the undercutting continuous Biu Tze, and he just changed it into fist form, except that obviously the fist isn't cutting from the side. So the cutting punch is really just kind of borrowing some inspiration from the continuous Biu Tze style. So keep that in mind. So basically, while I do the Biu Tze versus Biu Tze stuff for the Biu Tze level and above, that we'll do the Kiu Dai Kun for the 301 students, because it's essentially a very similar topic, okay? So we're gonna go like this. For you guys who are at the Chum Kiu level, I'm gonna fire a punch at you. So you're going to imagine that you're doing a diagonal wedge. So when I fire the punch, you send that wedge forward. I'm going to do it kind of high. So you imagine that wedge goes forward, and then you're going to move to the side and cut underneath. And then I want a couple chain punches after that. So it should be like high wedge, let the arm go to the side, cut underneath, boom, boom, boom. If you guys can get good at this, this is really good for practical fighting, but also for Chi Sao sparring. Because sometimes you guys get caught up here and you struggle, and you can literally just let it go and punch the person. So Kiu Dai Kun is super, super powerful in terms of application. So you go one, cut, and then give me a couple chain punches when I fire that punch, okay? For Biu Tze levels, we are going to do the same thing, but you're going to do with the Biu Tze instead, like an emergency punch defense. When I fire the punch, you shoot the Biu Tze forward, but of course at the same time you lock this up, then you're going to cut to the side. Now, if you're new to Biu Tze, you just shoot the Biu Tze, cut to the side, and then if you want, you can go chain punches, all right? But if you're an old hat at Biu Tze, once you fire this and then you cut in, you guys can continue with cow peck, you guys can do continuous chan sao throw, whatever you want, slice and dice any way you want. The main thing is that you guys all have a very strong response to my first punch. So when I go here, I want to see either wedges or Biu Tze's going out with intention, all right? Now try to match me diagonally. When I have my left arm forward, you want to match with the left arm diagonal on the outside. When I'm right arm, you want to match right arm diagonal on the outside, whether you're doing the punch or the Biu Tze, all right? So let's go to it. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, pay attention to my lead, all right? If I fire this one here, you go, you send the correct one out, and then you're gonna cut underneath, right? So I'm just gonna launch the punch. The assumption is I'm gonna give you cross pressure. I'll punch and then go this way, and then you fire the Biu Tze, all right? So I punch, and there we go. Good, all right? And here, all right? Always matching the lead, and punch, and there we go, all right? And again, this is when it's high, all right? If I fire a wedge and my opponent's arms are low and they move to the side, I punch over the top. But this is when the arms are high and they go to the side, then I have to punch underneath, because you always want to go on the shortest straight line. All right, so we go here, punch and cross pressure. Good. All right, punch and now cross pressure. Good, and then follow up nice and aggressive on the inside. All right, and then we go punch and cross pressure. Beautiful. Punch, cross pressure. All right, fantastic. And this happens a lot in training when you guys try to mess each other up and you just use brute strength, and then usually you guys end up holding it instead of just letting it go, right? Just if someone gives you that high cross pressure, let it go with a punch or with a Biu Tze, all right? So we go here, boom, and there we go. And always mind my lead, all right? You want to match right hand to right hand, left hand to left hand. Boom, and cross. Beautiful. So nice to see all sorts of fists and chansels flying at me through the video. All right, so we go here and cross. Beautiful. And boom, boom, nice. And boom, good. And nice. Good, give me a couple more. Boom, good. Boom. All right, cool. I'm gonna answer some questions. If you you guys can also practice a little bit on your own. This is super practical stuff here, because cross pressure is a perennial issue in fighting. What would be the response if you have a brain fade and go on the inside for some reason? Okay, if you have a brain fade. So just speaking hypothetically, of course, right? So the question was, what if you go to the inside, all right? Well, then usually it's not so much of a problem, because if you fired the Biu Tze or you fired the punch and you're on the inside, well, if they don't give you cross pressure, you just stay on the inside and punch. If they give you the cross pressure, you can literally do the same thing. You cut and then you end up on the outside, which is actually better. One of the risky things about this is they give us cross pressure, we borrow it, but then we end up on the inside. So we have to be really aggressive before they hit us with the other hand. If you're on the inside and they give you cross pressure, well, then you would be cutting to the outside, which is safer anyway. So it's really, you have to have two things to use this kind of Biu Tze or use this kind of cutting punch. One, the contact point has to be high, right? Like you punch here and the contact point is high, or you Biu here and the contact point is high. That's the first thing. Second thing is then you get some cross pressure. So you have to go up and cross. If you just go up and there's no cross pressure, you can Jutsu, all right? Or you can cut underneath, but you normally won't move so much, all right? Okay. So no, we want to go to the outside first, all right? Because we're always trying to go to the outside. So the question was, do we always want to go to the inside? No, we always want to go to the outside, but we cannot foresee in advance that we're going to get cross pressure and have to deal with that way. So the tactic is always to go to the outside when you can do it, all right? Okay, so if there are no questions on that, let's go ahead and practice one more footwork thing. So at the beginning of class, we did Bong and Taan with the flick and then the knee in the back. And want to do something else with the footwork, since, you know, just standing around and doing chain punches doesn't always engage our whole body. So let's work a little bit on a couple kick defenses that are from the advanced class, okay? So if a straight kick comes in, for now we'll just assume someone's giving you a Wing Chun kick or a karate straight kick, all right? The standard defense in Wing Chun, as that kick comes in, is we move offline with the plum flower step, right? So you want to avoid the, you want to move out of the center, right? If a kick is coming here and I'm in timing 2, I cannot step in because I'm going to get kicked. I need to go offline and let the kick go by, and my Wu Sao hand is here. Then we usually follow up Pak Sao Palm or Pak Sao Punch or something like that, right? So in the case of the front kick being a little bit higher, all right? So again, when you fire this arm here, that's kind of the test. If the kick lands somewhere near your lower forearm, then you probably just go forward, Pak Sao Punch, Pak Sao Palm, whatever you want. But if you feel that the kick is higher, like the straight kick, you can do the Lao Sao, the Lao Geuk, against a front thrust kick from the outside. So that's what I want to work today, because yesterday's advanced class, we worked on the man sao going offline. All right. And so today I want to work on the lao sao, but going offline. So if you look at me from the front, here's the center. If I try to face the camera as dead center as I can. When I take that step to the side, I'm going to keep my hands more or less on that center, but I've moved my body out of the way. And now when I do that plum flower step, I go this way here. And by the way, when you're defending a kick and you use the lao sao, you can slide your foot with this plum flower step. You don't have to do the non-sliding plum flower step, because we want to step through our opponent who's trying to kick us. So that's why the footwork will look more like this. So you go one, and then look. So you can slide that rear one. And then you go here offline, and then in. But mind your angles. Make sure that you're always facing the correct way. The kick is coming at you. You move 45, but you're still facing your opponent. And then when you step in, you should be stepping in at a 45-degree angle, right? And then you come back, offline, forward, and back. Offline, forward. Very good. Offline, forward. Offline, forward. Offline, forward. Good. Let's do that a few more times on your own. And then I'm going to put together another little bit of footwork that you can practice. Because if you guys are doing shadow boxing, obviously you're going to be doing steps and punches and different directions and stuff. But at the advanced levels, you really want to start incorporating footwork. And that doesn't just mean kicks or turns, but it means like all sorts of things like lao Geuk and knee strikes and Bong and Taan and movements and changes and all sorts of stuff. I want you to expand your footwork vocabulary a little bit. So you'll use hand techniques, for example, lao Geuk, not just stepping straight in, but lao Geuk with plum flower step, and lao Geuk and sweep techniques and stuff, all right? So one of the most common things we have in Wing Chun, or problems we have nowadays, because remember the original lao sao technique was designed really to fight against Taekwondo and karate fighters, more or less in the 80s. So in those days, the karate or Taekwondo guy gave the roundhouse kick, you just stepped in, scooped it, and then launched them away, and then they would fall, because they weren't used to being grabbed and tossed. But nowadays, it's a little bit different, because people have seen MMA. So when you go for a lao sao, oftentimes people will try to grab your head or clinch you, which means that as you're trying to throw them with the kick, they're literally holding on to you. So the lao sao is not going to work the same way that it once did. And that's where we have to immediately go into the lao Geuk sweep variation, okay? You have the standard lao Geuk, the toss, and then this is called the sweep variation. So I'm going to show you the footwork, and then I want you guys to practice this and integrate this into your footwork training. All right, so we go here. All right. So I move offline with the lao sao, with the gua sao, and I step in. All right, but now just for the sake of argument, we imagine my opponent holds on to me. Okay, so now I need to hold on to them, either their head or their body, and I'm going to shift and sweep their supporting leg immediately. The moment you do a lao sao and someone is physically holding on to you, you need to sweep the supporting leg. Now, sometimes you're going to be able to do it one way or another. It depends. Now, just for the sake of argument, let's say I do lao sao, but I have my leg forward on the fak sao side, all right? Like maybe against a roundhouse kick. And now the person grabs my head. Well, if I'm holding on to their left leg here, I cannot go like this with my front leg to sweep them. I'm going to have to step through and do a power sweep with my rear leg, okay? But if I was in the same situation, but I had the other leg forward, now my opponent is still on this side here, all right? I also cannot just go like this with my front leg. So I'm going to have to step through and sweep. So you always want to sweep on the same side leg as they have on the ground. So if they're standing on their right leg, you're holding their left leg, they're standing on their right leg, you want to sweep with the right leg to right leg, all right? Okay? If you're on the, if they're on the outside. If they're on the inside, okay, so they're doing a front kick here, or sorry, you're on the outside of a front kick, Right? It's hard to explain without a partner, right? It's gonna be the opposite leg. So you always want to have that power sweep going like this. So I'll put it to you this way. The leg that you sweep with, all right, this is a much easier way of looking at it. The leg that you sweep with is always the Lao Sao side leg, all right? That's a much easier way of thinking about it, all right? So whenever you do a Lao Geuk, all right, you're always going to sweep on the Lao Sao side leg, never on the Fak Sao side, okay? That's the way to think of it, okay? Much easier, all right? So let's go ahead and practice this. Let's do some offline Lao Geuks. We imagine our opponent grabs our head. Now we look at our foot coordination here. We need to take a step so we can sweep on the Lao Sao side, all right? So we'll go like this, offline. This is my Lao Sao side, this is my leg, so I need to switch so I can step this way here, all right? Never just do the sweep on the unweighted leg. It's not powerful enough. You have to step and then throw through like this, all right? So we go Lao Geuk, step and sweep, all right? And now we go Lao Geuk, step and sweep, all right? And Lao Geuk, step and sweep. Go for it, all right? Do that sometimes on your own. Boom, 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 boom. Good. Good. All right, now I want you guys just on your own to mix it up a little bit, all right? So you can do the offline Lao Sao against the front kick, but I also want you guys to do a direct one, like against a round kick. So you go here, and now you're more frontal, and now you have to sweep on the Lao Sao side, all right? So you might have this combination here, left leg, right Lao Sao. So you step to the outside and sweep like this. If I have it the other way, I step and sweep like this here, okay? All right, go to it. So mix it up. Do the Lao Sao on your own, and I want you to mix it with doing it frontally and then going for the throw. And I want you to mix it with going offline and then going for the throw. All right, go to it. All right. I'll go by and take a look at you guys. Put you guys in. Yes. Okay, Arnell asked if the sweeping leg is a little bit different than the standard sweep. Absolutely, all right? In the standard sweep, we're normally holding on to someone's head, and normally their 2 feet are on the ground. So we kind of trip them over our leg. But when someone is standing on one leg, we're literally going to pluck them off their feet. We want them to do this, all right? So as opposed to just throwing them to the ground, we want to do this, shoom, boom. So the sweep against the single leg is a little bit higher. So let me show you this one here. All right. So let's say I did my Lao Sao here, and now I go for the sweep. I'm going to go to my opponent's knee. So it's going to go a little bit higher, almost like I'm using my hip more like this. Boom. As opposed to a normal sweep where you just kind of sweep here and trip them over your leg. Here you're literally going to almost like rip their leg out from under them, all right? It's really nasty and very difficult to defend. So you go here and step and rip the leg out. That's why you see my leg comes off a little bit when I do it that way, all right? That is the sweep variation on the Lao Sao. So remember, always on the Lao Sao side. All right, boom. Is there any stomping? Oh, okay, cool. I got a couple questions here. Seth asks, is there any stomping action there? Back of the knee to the back of the knee. Okay, you can. I mean, there are variations where you can kick the back of the supporting leg. That's usually what we call the side kick takedown. But we usually don't use that when we're holding on to their leg. We usually do it if we're too far away to do the sweep. If our sweep leg doesn't reach. I'll show you guys here. So Seth asked about, can we kind of kick or stomp the back leg, all right? So that's what we call the side kick sweep variation. So normally when we do a sweep, we step to the side. we circle behind the opponent's leg. We did this one last week on the toe, and then we basically stomp the heel down and trip them over our leg. But sometimes when you're fighting, you might step in for the sweep, but your opponent is too far away for you to sweep here. So then we change it to the side kick variation to throw them down. But the side kick variation isn't just like a preference thing. We do the side kick sweep takedown when the person is too far away from us, all right? So if they're close to us, we'll do the normal sweeping leg. If they're further away, we can do the side kick variation. But if you're holding on to one leg, you're literally going to sweep that thing off from under them. And yes, like Jose said, a little bit similar to a judo throw, right? And Nandita said, and when you step in, is it like a small advancing step, basically shifting weight? Yes. So it always depends on what leg you have forward and what side the lao sao is on. So you might think that if I do the lao sao on the same side as my front leg, well, I can just sweep this way here, but it's not powerful enough. So even if your sweeping leg is in the front on the same side as your lao sao, you have to take an extra step to the side and then sweep so you have enough power. So if you have same side leg and same side lao sao, don't just go like this. It's not powerful enough. Trust me. You're holding someone's leg, you're already in a rear weighted stance, and then you just try to very weakly move that front leg to sweep them. Won't happen. Same front leg, same lao sao, take a step and then throw. If you have the other combination, so lao sao and front leg are opposite, it's a little easier because you're already there. You can just step out and then step through. So it's always sweeping on the lao sao side. All right, cool. I hope that makes sense. All right, boom. Are those shoes going to be the standard issue for the uniform once the quarantine is over? No. All right. Fantastic. Okay, cool. Glad I answered that for you guys. All right, so let's do, let me give you guys a little tip on training your punches at home, because obviously not everyone has something to hit. A lot of us live in apartments. Except for our visitors from the South, you guys are lucky enough to have homes. So maybe you have a heavy bag. Everyone in New York lives in an apartment, more or less. So one of the things we worry about, obviously push-ups are a really great exercise because push-ups really mimic the same path of travel as the punch. So you want to do you want to get some regular push-ups going on. I know not everyone likes to do push-ups, but push-ups are one of the best things you can do to train your punching power when you cannot actually punch something. So here are a couple variations that I will tell you guys, I recommend for you guys. We do the Wu-Tang push-ups, all right? The Wu-Tang push-ups are like this, all right? So you have your arms in this position. Why? Because this puts your elbow literally in the same position as the Wing Chun punch. Oftentimes when people do push-ups, they do it this way. And now your elbows are flared. Now, that's still gonna work your shoulders. It's still gonna work your triceps. There's no such thing as, if you do it with good form, there's no such thing as a bad push-up. All push-ups are great. But if we wanna specialize for our Wing Chun punches, then we want to do push-ups where the elbow is in a little bit so that we go this way. That's why we call them the Wu push-ups, right? And then you push up like this here, keeping your body straight. And this will help to track it, right? So my advice for you guys is to train it like this. When you start going down, all right, go down slowly, because what you're training is negative forward pressure on the way down. So remember last week we talked about forward pressure. When someone presses your arm, even though my arm is going back, but my pressure's forward. If my opponent lets off at any moment, my arm is going to do this. Well, guess what? One of the best ways to practice that is, while you're going down to the push-up, you do it slowly. So you're actually maintaining forward pressure on the ground the whole time. So if the ground were to disappear suddenly, you'd land on your face, but your arm would go forward first. So that's why when you do the push-ups, you go down slowly. That's for your forward pressure. And then when you get to this position, you go and you explode up, and that's for your punch. So you kind of kill two birds with one stone in terms of your Wing Chun training. You have something for your forward pressure, and then you have something for the explosiveness of your punch. Yeah, I like to put my thumbs here. Now, of course, some people have very long thumbs, some have shorter thumbs. But it's not so much about whether they're touching or exactly, it should be obviously be in the center. It's more about getting that elbow in that lower position and avoiding the typical elbow flare of push-ups, right? So, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with this. As a matter of fact, if you do elbow out push-ups, do you know what that's good for? That's good for your foxhole, all right? So actually, I'm not, like, if you do the opposite, which are the diamond push-ups, this way here, or the tiger push-ups, so you have these variations here, the diamond push-ups, where your hands are in that position, like this, all right? That hits the outer tricep, all right? Then you have the woo push-ups, all right? This way here, you go down slowly, and you always go up explosively. Down slowly, up explosively, so that you have forward pressure and you have punching power. Now, if you have a wall, you can do, this is the one I used to do. If you guys read my new Chum Kiu book, I talked about the back fist, right? And how I used to believe in that thing until I hit some stupid cop in Germany with that thing. And then we ended up in a brawl because I couldn't knock him out with that stupid back fist, and all he did was bust my hand. One of the types of push-ups I used to do to strengthen the back fist is one of Bruce Lee's favorites called the tiger push-up. But the tiger push-up is also good for your foxhole, all right? So the tiger push-up is basically the diamond push-up, but it's against a wall where you put your feet here. You put your hands this way, and then you pike up, and you basically bring your head down and up like this. So you have your elbows in this out position here. So it's not to say that elbow out push-ups are not good. It's just that elbow in trains your punch. Elbow out trains your foxhole, all right? So just keep that in mind when you're practicing so that you have kind of targeted training as far as that goes, right? So this is kind of the tip here, all right? So I'm going to give you a little training protocol that you can do, and you can do it a little bit every day, or you can do it every other day here to make sure that you don't lose punching endurance. Because one of the things that, if you're not hitting the bags regularly, or you're not chain punching or doing chisa with someone, one of the things to go is the chain punching stamina. So I'm going to advise you guys to do something like this. Do a set of those push-ups, all right? Do a set of, depends on you. If 5 is your limit, do 5. If 10 is your limit, do 10. Do 10 of those push-ups, but do it like I showed you. Slow, explode. Slow, explode. And after you do 10, hold this position, all right? Beginners, hold it for 15 seconds. If this is easy for you, hold it for 30 seconds. Because this is something that professional boxers do to develop lactic acid resistance. Because when your arms get filled with lactic acid, that's when they get tired and they feel heavy. So boxers do special training to be able to withstand that. And the training is, they'll hit a heavy bag, let's say for 30 seconds, full tilt, bam, 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 bam. And then after 30 seconds, they hold in a push-up plank for 30 seconds. Because what that does is it traps the lactic acid in your arms. Normally, you'd be able to shake it out. But you build up all this lactic acid, and then by doing a push-up hold, you literally keep it here, which is very fatiguing. And then, you do 30 seconds punch, 30 seconds hold, 30 seconds punch, 30 seconds hold, and you repeat this 3 times for a 3-minute round like in boxing, and then you would take a 1-minute break, and then you would repeat it again. So my advice for you guys, if you have something to hit, then do that. Hit for 30 seconds, hold for 30. Hit for 30, hold for 30, do the 3-minute cycle, take a 1-minute break. Start off, just do 1 round, all right? Don't kill yourself, all right? Then try to do 2 rounds, and then try to do 3 rounds. Now, if you don't have something to hit, which is the case for most of us, you're going to replace the punching of something with the woo push-ups, all right? But you do a specific set. So you do 5, or you do 10, and then hold for 15, and then 5 and 10, hold 15. And if you need to take a break and you fall, take a break, and then just do it again. Don't worry about it. Build up to it. This thing is absolutely hardcore because you're going to be developing your punching power, and then you hold it there, and then that's not too difficult. But then when you go for that second set, you're going to be like, oh, because your arms are going to be all filled with blood and lactic acid, and they're going to be screaming. So what happens is, in that 3-minute round, you get so much more work done than if you decided to do like a 15-minute arm workout. Like you'll be done in 3 minutes. And you'll take a little break for a day or two. You'll come back easier, and you'll start to notice that when you hit things, you can not only hit them harder, but you can hit for longer because you now have punching endurance, okay? So let's do a quick set for everyone, all right? So let's everyone go down into Wu push-up position, all right? And we're just going to do, let's say we're gonna do 8. We'll keep it easy. We'll split the difference for everybody, all right? So everyone go down in the Wu push-up position, all right? And then now let's go. I'm gonna count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now hold it fully outstretched. Hold it in that position. Don't forget to breathe. And while you're holding, you can move a little bit. Just keep your arms extended, right? And now we're gonna go for another 8. All right, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now hold. We'll just do one more set like this. All right, hold. All right, now for the next set, go down a little slower, but come up faster. 1, slow down, explode up. 2, and up. And 3, boom. 4, try to go down as far as you possibly can. 5, 6, 7, 8, and hold. Last hold. Hold, hold, hold. All right, shake it out, shake it out. All right. So this is a simple example of what professional boxers call lactate training to build up and rowers do it too so that they can row for longer. But here you're learning to build it specifically in these muscles here. So if you can hit something, you hit something and then you hold for 30. We did 15, but the goal is to hold for 30, right? And we did 8 push-ups. See if you could do 10. See if you could do 15 and really down slow and boom and up and down slow and try to get it to here. Same like your chambered hands, all right? And then boom like this, all right? I'll let you guys practice this. We'll probably do something like this on Fitness Friday this week. And next week, I'm going to show you a killer way to do a Wing Chun punch push-up, all right? It's going to be a lot of fun, all right? So I'm going to unmute you guys here real quick. Cool. Does anyone have any questions before we're out of here?
Thank you, Sifu.
Yeah, we did a lot today. That was a lot of fun. So remember, we did the footwork at the beginning. All right, we worked on the wedge and the cutting punch when it's too high, or the Biu Tze and the cutting punch when it's too high. All right, and then we also did the Lao Geuk sweep variation. You catch someone in the Lao Geuk, they hold on to you. You got to sweep that supporting leg always on the Lao Sao side. All right, so you have to work that footwork in there to get it. All right. And then I showed you an awesome way to keep up your punching endurance when you don't have something physical to punch. Now, if you hate push-ups, I understand. But push-ups are one of the best things you can do. So start with 5. Don't worry about 10 or 20 or whatever. Start with 5. Just start really easy, all right? Okay, we got a question here from Frank, all right? Any tips on strengthening the wrist? Yeah, absolutely. The Hünsel is one of the best ways you can strengthen the wrist. Now, of course, it always depends on what kind of equipment you have, all right? If you have no equipment, then you want to practice the Hünsel full range of motion and really snap it. And then you can also do a reverse Hünsel and snap it underneath this way here. So you do it kind of slowly, right? I'm huge into wrist strength and forearm training because we need it for Wing Chun. Obviously, if you've done things like long pole, you have the long pole. If you get these kind of rubberized grip trainers, I use these every other day. This is one of my favorite things. You can buy these on Amazon. They come in 3 different strengths, and they're $12, all right? And they also come with these here. So you have the ones for gripping in this direction, and then you have these that you can put on your fingers exploding out for the Biu Tze, right? So I do sets of these, and I do a set for these here, which is for throat grabs and for lapsows. Then I do a set for the middle finger, the middle two fingers this way here, and then I do sets for these two fingers only. And when that becomes easy, then the wrist strength training I do is this. I take the same grip, but now I turn my wrist in this position here, all right? So if you look, when your wrist is in that position, this is not only going to train your grip strength like this, but this is also going to really train your wrist strength as well, because you now train the forearm in these kind of odd angles. I don't know, these are called, if you just go to Amazon and type in like grip strength trainers, these come in a set, they literally cost $12, and they come from like, and they come in a set like this. You have like a light one, a medium one, and a heavy one. And I'll do like 100 with the light one, 80 with the medium one, and 60 with the heavy one. And then I'll do the sets on the other side. So I do those. And if you want to go old school, all right, we have, if you have a small dumbbell, all right, even something like, I don't have any small dumbbells. I have a 20-pound one here. You do wrist curls this way here. I wouldn't recommend a 20-pound dumbbell for that, though. Something much lighter. All right, so you can do those as well. So those are things you can do. If you guys want to do the push-ups on your knuckles instead of the woo ones, by all means, do them on your knuckles. But probably better if you do it on a soft floor, all right? So guys, Saturday, we're going to have another seminar, open seminar for everyone, like I did the timing matrix last week. And then on Sunday, I'm going to have another advanced topic, which is kind of just for you guys at 12. I always have ideas of stuff to do. So like I said, I never run out of stuff. But if you guys have any special requests and topics, things you want me to talk about, and we can do anything. We can do technical stuff. We can do theoretical stuff. We can do history. Now, I think last week I talked to you guys a little bit about the history of Wing Chun, and I was going to go into more detail about the footwork stuff and why Grandmaster Yip Man kept some of the footwork hidden. If you guys are cool with that, I'm going to go ahead and do that on Sunday. But if you guys have more stuff you want to talk about, I'm going to get real technical about why Grandmaster Yip Man hid certain types of footwork, and we can really go into the weeds as far as that goes. And like I mentioned yesterday, I'm translating Yip Man's second interview with New Martial Hero, and that'll be on the Kung Fu Genius channel, and I'll send you guys a copy of that as well. So super excited about that. Cool. Well, I hope you guys had a good time. I hope you guys go ahead and train those things, train all the footwork. The link for this will be up tomorrow, so you can always rewatch it. Next week, we're going to hopefully get some new goodies for you guys. So I want to every week kind of change things up a little bit, give you guys new things, and always keep it a little bit fresh. And we'll add some more classes, more fit classes, more special topic classes, and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, hope you guys are doing well, and we will see you guys soon, all right?
Thank you, Sifu.
Take care.
Let's go.
Good night, everyone.
See you guys. Stay safe.
Peace. Losing my freaking mind.